So moving on to the UFC 214 main card, the pay-per-view event, starting off with light heavyweight bout. Jimmy Manuwa, Volkan Oezdemir. Oezdemir's been knocking motherfuckers out.
First round every time.
And no difference in this one. Came out with...
He went to a decision with OSP, but still won. It was a split decision.
Right.
But still won it. And then he... Mika Cirkunov,
yeah, he knocked him out.
He murked him. And then Manuwa, who was
supposed to be...
the replacement for if either one of...
Yeah, for the main event.
Fatboy Cormier or Druggy Jones fucking had to pull out. He was going to be in there. Volkan goes in and just dirty boxing when Manuwa has him pressed up against the cage.
Yeah, he just got that tie clinch.
And wham!
His uppercut over the top, just constantly until Manuwa
and then Manuwa started falling backwards.
Yeah.
And Oezdemir shoved him harder, and then his head fucking slammed off the canvas, and then he dropped one more hard punch, and it was over.
Yeah, it was after that flurry of the fucking uppercuts.
40 seconds.
Yeah, it was a super quick fight. Manuwa, I'd love to see Manuwa fight. I'd love to see the person that lost in the main event fight either one of these guys. I'd love to see him fight Volkan Oezdemir, get knocked out again. But yeah, interesting. It's nice that at least there's Manuwa and Oezdemir in the picture since Rumble's out.
And I picked fucking Manuwa.
Yeah.
So now it's, what do we got? 6-2?
And Oezdemir got performance of the night with that.
I have to win out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously you see me wearing this stupid fucking hat, people, so.
Came down to...
How about this fight?
Non-gimme fight. Robbie Lawler versus Donald Cerrone. This fight started off similar to the fucking Manuwa fight where Robbie has that tie clinch and he's landing the fucking uppercut.
Then he just starts planting knees into him.
Cerrone was able to
came out and it was weird. He came out as the Donald that we've seen every once in a while, that he'll go on a tear and then all of a sudden he just doesn't show up to a fight. And I was like, oh shit.
Except for he survived, because he
survived,
doesn't survive
and then he got Lawler down.
Yeah. The second round,
and you could tell his confidence by the end of the round was back up. Second round, Cerrone comes out, swanging.
Yeah, yeah, he did a lot better in the second round.
Together.
Yeah,
a lot of people were upset with this decision. I really wasn't in rewatching it.
No, I mean,
because
Lawler always turns it up at the last round.
Didn't really fight the second round.
Yeah,
he just circled around, took some shots, and then in the third, all that he saved up in the second, he poured it all out, and it was enough to. I mean, Cerrone was landing good shots.
And he hurt Cerrone a bunch of times in the fight.
Yeah,
Lawler was hurt in the second round, but that was. I mean, Cerrone got the second round, first and third. Lawler. But close fight.
The first was super close.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the round, Cerrone spend
definitely better second round.
The last minute or so on top.
Yeah.
But he really didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And he had taken that huge flurry in the first 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, he's more...
That first flurry was more than take down and lay on top of.
Yeah. He was just trying to recover.
But a lot of fans just go, well, he was on top at the end.
Sure, but he was on top.
He was.
But that's all he was.
Yeah.
It's not like he was in a dominant position. He wasn't laying down anything. He wasn't fucking threatening with submission. But so he got the takedown and he has control.
He even had side control for a while and really didn't land anything.
It's like somebody that has somebody pushed up on the fence. They're not trying to get a takedown. They're just like, okay, they have control. But that's all they have. It's not like somebody who's got somebody pressed up on the fence, dirty boxing, going for takedowns.
I agree.
That's worth a lot more. But yeah, he did have control. And I mean, if that was the whole fight, then he would have won. But it wasn't the whole fight. Compared to the other things that happened, it was him just trying to recover. But I didn't think it was controversial at all.
No,
I didn't think there were any controversial decisions. I didn't think anybody got fucked.
No.
By the judges. I kept waiting for it to happen because I knew I was winning these fights.
I mean,
but I was like, this is the only thing.
We got fucked by one fight, but again, we'll get to that later.
I wasn't surprised though. It wasn't that surprising, but we'll get to it.
But
so
with that, you picked Lawler.
Yeah.
I
So I won it.
It's done.
I was able
you don't
to
have to care about the last three
gimmies.
picks.
Yeah. So that was, I could just enjoy the championship fights. So moving on to the first of 3 championship fights. This one for the female featherweight 145 division. Chris Cyborg versus Tanya Evinger, the 135 champ over in Invicta. And one of the very few people to take Cyborg into the 3rd round.
No, don't get me wrong. She's tough as shit.
Yeah.
She had
She
a
had
really
moments.
good game plan.
She hit her a few times. She was
she
able to
took her
grapple
down
with her.
once.
I mean, as far as damage-wise, like, people get lit up by Cyborg.
Yeah.
She never, I mean, until the end.
She had a
never
really
got
good
lit
game
up.
plan of every time
Yeah.
Cyborg got close, she would lock up in a clinch and go for a takedown.
Because that's her game plan. Wear her down. She's really good wrestler. She was going to be a Olympic wrestler, but they didn't have her weight class. So she's like, that's her thing. She just wasn't able to really. She got
really
Cyborg
not
down
about
for like
the
a
belly
second.
she rocks, but I
Well,
mean,
she's fighting 10 pounds over a weight class where she already looks like that at 135.
I know, but I was about to say she looks like that at 135,
which is like whatever. I mean, here's the thing: if she comes over to the 135 division over here, there's not that many tough chicks that are going to put her away. I mean, it took Cyborg 3 rounds or 2.5 rounds to put her away, so it's like.
But
she's gonna destroy some people at 135.
A lot of fucking abuse in that fight. Like
sure, but not as much. I mean, she got finished.
Not as much as the last girl.
People get lit up.
Yeah.
She never got lit up. She had a good game plan, but I'm just saying, after fighting Cyborg, she's not gonna be, and she's not like she's scared of anybody anyway.
No,
she goes back to her weight class. Like everybody at 135 should be pissing themselves and shitting themselves. Because she wins fights. I mean, she's not. It's not like she beat Cyborg or really had moments where she could have won.
Before?
I mean, everybody in Invicta. That's where she's been. She hasn't been.
Yeah, but I mean, she's been in the game forever. So
yeah. Let's see. So she, aside from, that was that no contest. So her last loss was Sarah McMahon, back in
she lost to
2011,
and then she lost to Alexis Davis twice.
Yeah, and that's 7 and 6 years ago. So she's been on a run for.
But I mean,
who
she beat? Anybody of name? Cindy Dandoise. That's the chick with the terrible stand-up.
Irina Aldana.
Aldana's pretty good.
Sarah D'Alelio.
I don't recognize that one.
They're just all Invicta people.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a few that
really
went over.
Yeah. Sure, she hasn't fought, but she just fought the scariest woman in the entire world and lasted longer than most people last with her and looked better.
No,
so
good
it's
on
like,
her.
so I'm saying the other 35 pounders aren't going to be nearly as like dominant as Cyborg in the ring. But you know, so we'll see. I don't know if she's supposed to be staying over in the UFC or if she's going back to Invicta. But I
had picked Cyborg.
Yeah, which is the first of 2 gimmies. Tyron Woodley versus Damian Maia for the co-main event, 170-pound men's welterweight legend, legacy champion of all time, best ever. Tyron Woodley going again to a decision for one of the worst fights I've ever seen twice.
Yeah, I've spent an hour watching this fucking fight.
Oh, my
and it's
God.
an hour I can't get back in my life.
So
you picked Maia.
They have together like this. They have the amount of strikes that people throw in an entire fight, or in a single round. I mean, yeah, they took an entire 5 championship rounds to not throw anything.
Tyron averaged about 11 punches around, and Damian
horrible
Maia,
accuracy.
maybe like.
I mean,
I don't even care. I don't even care. Damian Maia tried 28 takedowns or 24 takedowns. 21. Sorry, I can't read.
Yeah.
All stopped. He wasn't setting anything up. Like,
well, yeah. He like
this
2
is
rounds.
like a bad performance by both of them.
Sure. Okay. Damian
I blame
Maia's,
it more on
Damian
Tyron.
Maia's, yeah. He had it was his fight to win. He just fought not to lose.
Yeah.
That's all he did.
It was same
'Cause
way he fought Wonder Boy
At
last
no
time.
point did Maia have an advantage in this fight ever have an advantage, and Woodley never did anything to capitalize.
That's 2 fights in a row he's fought like this.
It's boring as fuck, and I'm not a fan of the first fight with Wonder Boy either. I mean, it was okay, but
Thought
it
it was a good
wasn't.
fight.
It was okay. There was like 2 rounds. There was any action in a 5-round fight. It was okay. This, the worst, most boring fight ever.
He's
boring
fucking
fight
himself
ever.
because
I know.
he lost the GSP fight. Dana White
Oh,
right
yeah.
after the GSP was going to fight the winner. Dana's like, "Fuck that! You set the record for
The
least."
fans said fuck
Yeah.
that. At the end of the fight,
were
they're like,
chanting
fuck.
boring.
Yeah. They
And
had all
they
their
all had
phones
their
out.
flashlights on
Yeah.
their phones, all waving it like, "This is more exciting than the fight. Everyone do this. It's fun."
Yeah.
And everyone went, "Wow, this is more fun than the fight. Look at all these lights."
I mean, Maia had only one way to win this fight, is to get him get a takedown, which, by the way, twice Woodley was able to not get taken down
Grab the
because he
fence.
grabbed the
Yeah.
fence. So there's that. When like your only path to victory, the guy cheats
Yeah.
twice, and no point taken for the I mean, he got warned after the first time, and nothing happened after the second time.
But his fighting as of recently, his attitude.
He hasn't fought. He didn't fight in that fight.
No, I'm saying
He was all feints. It was
Yeah.
all feints. He like landed 10 punches. It seemed like.
But the way he's been like,
Yeah.
"Oh, the fans don't treat me right because everyone's racist and fucking."
I mean, the company he works for, maybe he experiences racism, but as far as people, he wins the belt, and the first thing he thinks, he's like, "This is my legacy. I want money fights." It's like, motherfucker, you just won the belt. You understand that division and how long people hold the belt and defend the belt? They're not looking for super fights off the bet. Yeah.
Any chance of any big money fight. He's
Yeah.
lost any chance of headlining a pay-per-view. He will only be a co, if anything.
Yeah. Or it'll
he
be
lost
like,
so much money with this one fight. He lost his fight with
all he cares
GSP.
about.
He wanted a super fight with Bisping. That didn't. He tried to get a
No.
fight with
Yeah,
McGregor. that
nobody's-
didn't happen.
yeah,
no
nobody-
one cares
no.
about you, Tyron.
Yeah, he's like, which is fitting. It's almost like a baton. He took the baton before DC fought. It's
Yeah.
almost like they passed the baton of like, oh, well, I mean, DC's probably not. I mean, maybe he'll fight again. I don't know why he would, but it's just like, you can't like complain about your legacy when you haven't even shown that you're going to defend the belt.
Why don't people like me? It's like
Turning down fights publicly. I don't want to fight the next in line. I want to fight a super fight. I want money fights. This is my legacy. It's like, no, defend the fucking belt. Be the king of the heap. And if the fans want to see a super fight, that's how McGregor and Mayweather. That's how somebody with no boxing experience is fighting the best boxer ever.
because he goes out there and
Because the
fucking
fans wanted it.
puts it on the line.
Well, yeah, because the fans wanted it, and fans love Conor and love to see what he can do, and they want to see him fuck this piece of shit up. But he doesn't have any support. All he cares about, the things he talks about, are the movies he's in and the directors and the movie stars he knows. That's all he ever talks about. He's like, "Oh, I'm hanging out with my fucking movie star friends." That's all he wants to do. "Oh, I was in this movie." There's clips. I think it was the Embedded. He's like going to fans. He's like, "Hey, check it out. Guess who I am? I'm the guy in that movie. Look at the clip. That's me." On his phone. Like, how narcissistic do you have to be? It's like, you're a champion. Pretend like you're a champion of a sport and not like a movie star now.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, so it's the most boring 5 rounds of MMA that I've ever seen. I feel bad for Damian Maia. I wish he had gotten more time to train. Maybe he would have been able to, work on more takedowns, different types of takedowns, different ways to get in on the takedown.
He needed to work more.
I mean,
he should have been throwing leg kicks the whole time. He wasn't.
Sure, yeah.
Because who cares?
But
if
he didn't have.
Tyrant
He only
takes
had a
him down?
month to get in shape for this fight. He's a giant.
What happened?
He only had They fucking gave him the opportunity. He just fought, and they just gave him the opportunity a month out, and that's why Woodley's like, "Yeah, I'll fight him if it's only a month." So Mai only had a month to train for this, which he's a giant fucking welterweight.
He started out as
so it was just getting
he
in
fought
shape.
Anderson Silva for
It
the
was just
title
all
years
getting
back.
in shape. So he didn't get a chance to like do a camp where he's training the best ways to, get inside on Tyron Woodley.
Sometimes you got to take the chance.
The guy that knew he was fighting Maia forever, Tyron Woodley, because, he knows who's next. He's just the bout agreement hasn't come out or whatever. Did nothing with his training. Aside from avoiding the takedowns, that's all he did in the fight. He's like, I'm avoiding takedowns. And then every once in a while I'll throw a couple things. But it's so boring.
He won the fight by avoiding takedowns.
It was boring as fuck. It was boring. He just shut Maia down, and then he didn't win the fight.
I can't believe
we
watched
lose
it
the fight.
again.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to make sure there was like nothing happened. Like nothing.
No.
Maia's eye got fucking inflated
in the first 5
punch,
seconds.
yeah. But it didn't really seem to affect. It's not like Tyron was attacking him, so he's pretty fine. So moving on to the main event of the night, Daniel Cormier versus John Jones. Some people think Cormier is a good fighter and deserves to be in the pound-for-pound talk. I have never thought that at all, because I've seen
he's a good
his
fighter.
record. Sure.
He only lost once ever.
Sure, but I've seen the people he fought. Like he fought a Dan Henderson that was old as shit and way too small.
He's fought Gustafsson. He's fought Rumble twice.
Gustafsson fight is the only respectable fight that he's won. That's the only one.
Dude, he beat Rumble twice.
Okay. The second fight is the most bullshit. Oh, he won that fight. Rumble didn't fight that fight. He did the...
That's
you could
not
say
his
he won
fault, though.
For sure, but he didn't show, impressive championship ability to beat Rumble. Anybody could have beat Rumble if that's how Rumble's going to fight.
Yeah.
The most impressive win he has is against Gustafsson, because Gustafsson's legit. He's still up in the mix. It was a tough fight. But other than that, in heavyweight, he's fighting a bunch of fucking, people that lose. They're not salty career guys. And John Jones is, in his prime now. He's just turned 30. Yeah. He's been training for who knows how long for Cormier. He was training for Cormier before Cormier pulled out and OSP filled in, which nobody seems to bring that up. The reason why John Jones fought OSP on short notice is because Cormier pulled out of the fight.
Yeah.
He got injured, which happens a lot at his gym. But he came in on weight, had to use the towel again, didn't cheat this time. But he made weight. He was the first one to weigh in, so I would think he was scared. He's like, well, I'll have more time to lose it. And John Jones came in half pound under. It was the easiest weight cut he's had, he said.
Looking swole as shit.
Yeah, he looked great in the fight. It was the first 2 rounds. It was a back and forth fight.
He was landing
Jones
more,
won the first
Cormier
round.
was landing harder a few shots. He
was landing some shots, yeah.
Caught him up against the cage with a good
never really hurt.
Well,
we've never really seen John Jones hurt.
The worst against Gustafsson.
Yeah, but even then, I don't think he was ever really rocked. He was definitely exhausted
from points in that fight.
I don't know. But yeah, Cormier, won the second round, did a little bit more, got a little cocky.
Started Jones talking shit.
He blocked a couple things and thought he was Nick Diaz in there. Yeah. Was it the second round Jones was throwing all those liver kicks, or the beginning of the third?
The third, Jones came out.
He was just working the body. He hit him with a few body shots, punches to the body.
But after he realized that DC probably won round 2, Jones came out in 3 and started throwing
There's no way DC wins a 5-round fight with John Jones. There's no way he can do it. He was already gassed on the 3rd round. He's not going to make 5 rounds. Especially Jones has huge reach and was working the body from the start.
Jones looked so much bigger than him.
Yeah.
Because he bulked up.
Yeah. He wasn't lifting weights for this fight he was before the OSP
He's still much
fight.
bigger than he was.
He's
John Jones.
older.
Yeah.
He was a kid before. He was 23.
2 years ago when they fought before.
Right.
2.5 years or something.
Right. Yeah.
But he definitely filled out a lot more and hits him with this fucking head kick in the 3rd.
Well, he threw it in the 2nd, and that's when Cormier was like,
he was like,
but yeah, Jones was saying he was seeing how he did it. They were working on that in camp because they know he likes to move his head, and he was just waiting for the time where his hands go down when he gets tired. So he's just waiting for an opportunity and caught him with it. And Cormier, we see Cormier fucking hurt. And
but
then
he took it. Stayed on his feet. Well,
sure.
I felt like I remembered it wrong. Like when we rewatched
out.
it. Oh yeah, he was out.
He was on his feet, but he was moving back.
He was like,
and then he tried to run away. Jones kicks out his leg,
which was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, he had been kicking out his leg the whole fight. Like he had complete
that one time
control.
He just shucked him off him.
He had complete control
so
over
much
that front
stronger.
leg. Yeah, there's no way Cormier was winning this fight. There's no way.
But then lands some hellacious ground and pound.
Yeah.
Cormier is down for like a good 30 seconds of not
little
moving.
late stoppage considering it's he for sure wasn't moving for the last, like he was just kind of convulsing for like the last 3 just powerful hits to the head.
And those
it was
were
big
the
John
hardest
McCarthy.
shots. Yeah.
Yeah,
his head was
out.
against the canvas.
Yeah.
And just connecting like right to the chin.
Yeah. Yeah. So Cormier got knocked the fuck out.
Then he wakes up.
Yeah. And he thinks it's bullshit.
He thinks it's bullshit. He starts yelling at Dana.
Yeah.
He's like trying to.
Jones wanted to bury the hatchet. Like even the interviews just before this, like they were asking, he's like, yeah, it's like once this is done, it's done, because he knew he was gonna win. It's like, what's the point in being mad at this guy? We're not doing another one.
They touched gloves before the fight, and even touched gloves like at the beginning of the first round.
Rounds. Yeah,
I was surprised. At that.
But Cormier was so butthurt because he didn't know he just got knocked the fuck out that he didn't want to do anything with Jones. Joe's like, okay, well, let's do this interview. But he was super respectful when Rogan asked him about Cormier. He's like, listen, he was a class act, good dude. I see him with his people, and he seems like a good dude. But, it is what it is. And he's an old, like Cormier's 40. He just turned 30. Or Cormier's almost 40. And, yeah. And even in the press conference, he was, It's nice to see Jones back. And it seems like he's more, like, finally honest and not pretending to be this Christian, like, goody two-shoes. And even in the post-fight interview, he's like, listen, I'm going to try to be a better person, but I'm a crazy motherfucker. So sometimes shit's going to happen. But, yeah, I'm glad he's back in the seat. Looking forward to seeing him fight Gustafsson again.
He called out Brock Lesnar at the end.
You want to talk about a super fight? That's crazy.
That's a money fight
out of
right
fucking
there.
Potential heheavyweights to call out. That's the
uber money fight.
Oh my god, that'd be ridiculous. But there's clearly going to be fights before that because Brock still has suspension and has to go through USADA and all that shit.
Well, I think Dana said it'd take 6 months from now anyway, even for Brock to even clear.
Yeah. But that would be probably, I guess they would do it for the New York card at the end of the year. November? Or maybe that puts it just past November because we're past the half of the year. Because that's a big card.
It would be the New Year's card.
Yeah. Well, whatever they do in New York, that's their big card at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then they'll have another one for around Super Bowl time. They usually have another big one.
Yeah.
The beginning of the year. Yeah, that'd be crazy. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to. Jones has a few people he can fight in the division. At least a couple,
Gustafsson.
Well, Gustafsson and Ozdemir. He can fight Ozdemir.
Yeah, Ozdemir's scary though.
Sure. But
But yeah,
Brock Lesnar's scary.
It ended up at the end. It was 7-5.
Yeah. So you gained.
So I won the last
face.
3.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But yeah, good win for John Jones. See if Cormier decides to actually fight again. I wouldn't mind seeing Cormier fight. Some of the other light heavyweight like Ozdemir or something like that, or Manoa.
Yeah.
But I can't see him with all his
just retire.
cushy desk jobs
Yeah.
and getting older. Yeah, just fucking retire, man. So that was UFC 214.
Especially after a devastating knockout like that.
Oh, yeah. First time he's ever
been stopped.
Yeah.